So yay, I think we're live on YouTube. Hello, YouTube. Let's do this then. So because we aren't that many here today, I'm not going to separate us in small rooms. It can be just a main room here. And I'm going to, oh, actually, I have to say that here TNT is a safe space, okay, for us to practice English. So everybody must be respectful. And if you think someone is not following that rule, you can tell me. And is there anybody here that is here for the first time?
I'm second time.
Igor, Bruno, are you here for the first time? Bruno?
Yes, I'm here for the first time.
Oh,
nice
okay.
to meet you guys.
Nice to meet you too. So actually, I think I should give you a chance to briefly introduce yourself. So Bruno, do you want to introduce yourself?
Okay. My name is Bruno. I'm from Rio de Janeiro. I'm an English student. I'm here for the first time. You know, it's an amazing place to learn English, to practice English with other people. You know, and that's why I'm here to try to improve my English even more with you guys. So it's a pleasure to be here with you.
Okay, so the topic today, the subject we are discussing, I saw here that you didn't understand some of, was it you? Oh no, it was Bruno Romano, I'm sorry. That's okay. Nice to meet you, Bruno. But to Bruno Romano, because there are two Brunos, guys. So I messed it up. So Bruno Romano said that he was having some trouble understanding what we were saying. And actually the topic for today, it's complex and it's challenging. So it's okay. If you don't understand, you can just say it. Okay, I don't understand. You can ask us to repeat. Okay.
Thank you.
So Bruno, do you want to briefly introduce yourself?
I'm
Hi.
I am Bruno. I'm from Minas Gerais. I 26 years old. I am a student, dentistry, odontologia.
Okay.
So.
Okay, that's okay. Clay. Oh, okay. Clay, do you want to introduce yourself, please?
Okay, I'll briefly do it because I'm working. I was just listening to you guys, but yeah, I was just had to pick up the phone to attend some customs. But so I'm Clay from, actually I live in Vitória, Espírito Santo. I'm 38 years old and I work as a salesperson, and that's it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Igor, do you want to introduce yourself, please?
Yeah, first morning, everyone.
Yay.
I'm Igor, I'm from Rio de Janeiro, and I'm doing PhD in biochemistry in the FRJ. And I'm very happy to know this initiative, and it's very good thing. Yeah, just this.
Okay.
It's nice to be in here this morning.
Yay. So the first question here, guys, sorry, is there a stigma to talk about mental health in Brazil? So Igor, you can start. Do you think there's a stigma to talk about mental health in Brazil? Igor, are you listening?
Oh, sorry. I'm reading the chat and it's,
Okay.
and the first question, right?
Yes.
I think this thing in Brazil is more linked to the political vision of the people in most cases. I'm here from this conversation is more open in the progressive minds. I think it's more the political position of the person is talking about, and no in Brazil, specifically in Brazil, it's more hard to talk in this or not, but it's more linked between the political vision of the person.
Oh, so you think there's a link to the political view and how they see mental health issues?
Yeah, I'm this leitura, não sei como é que eu falo isso. Sorry.
Okay.
Sometimes the words escape from my mind.
No, that's totally fine. It's challenging to be here. Bruno, what do you think? Bruno, just Bruno. You are muted. You are muted. We are not listening to you.
I'm
What about now?
Yeah, now I'm listening. Okay.
Yes, people have this idea that you don't need to seek out help when you have problems in life. So they try to solve their own problems by themselves. They don't try to have this outside help, you know. And we all need sometimes get things out of our chest, you know. We need to vent, we need someone to talk about our problems, but sometimes we don't have this attitude of say, okay, I need help, I need professional help. So I think try to solve your problems all by yourself can be a bad thing, you know. Sometimes you need someone helping you in that journey of try to solve your unresolved issues, you know.
Mariana, what do you think?
Well, I agree with Igor and Bruno. People usually don't ask for help when it comes to mental health. So they prefer sometimes to heal themselves through motivation internet phrases, for example. And of course, this doesn't work because you're not solving the problem exactly, you know. You're just trying to stay in a comfortable spot. So I think it is important you ask for help. The search for psychologists and psychiatrists are sometimes done when the situation's already grave, you know, like psychotic episodes and attempt suicides, panic attacks, self-harm. So sometimes people just wait the bad things happen before ask for help. And nowadays, of course, I see a movement that for like a standardized psychotherapy, but I see that more in groups of privileged social class, you know, and not more in groups of when it comes to that thing of poverty. You know, sometimes there is a stigma too.
Okay. So I want you guys to answer the third question actually first. So is mental health, because seizing the opportunity by what Mariana just said. So what I wanted to ask is mental health treatment a right of few? Like, how accessible is it? Like, do you think it is a right of only a small portion of society? What do you think, Bruno Romano?
Sorry, I don't speak English well, and I believe that there is a stigma about mental health among poor people because this theme is sometimes thought of as frescura, fresh.
Okay.
Sorry.
It's silly, like it's a silly thing. It's nothing. You're talking too much. It doesn't really matter. Like it's not a huge problem. That's what people think.
Yes.
Okay, okay. So Clay, are you with us?
Yeah, kinda.
Do you think that
Just part of me.
mental health treatment is a right of only a small portion of society? Only few people get access to mental health treatment.
Yeah, I think that's true. And like, I think if I'm talking about myself, so I was listening to you guys before you were talking about um, the situation that most people sometimes face, and actually you don't want to go and talk about it because it's sometimes it's something very personal and you don't want to face it. You don't want to even talk about it to others. You don't want to open your life to people that you don't know. Even it could be something that you could solve. Someone could help you, like a doctor or like a therapist or something like that. So it's hard to talk about yourself. It's hard to open your life, and like, you don't know what people are gonna think. I can even talk about myself. Even I have like problems, I have something to talk about, but I don't want to do this because it's hard. It's hard to expose you. So, and if I think to answer this third question, I think, yeah, it could be not all right, but could be something that only a few people gonna do, because so you're talking about personal lives, so it's hard to talk about it. And if I'm thinking about a right of people, so yeah, maybe some people can do this, but just a few person of this guy, not many people can do it like freely talk about their problems. So it's a right of few people, I think.
Okay. But talking also, guys, not only about the stigma, because the stigma is real, but also about in terms of paying, like mental health is expensive, right? Sorry, it's expensive to pay for a psychiatry, um, or to pay for treatment. So in terms of accessibility, like Igor, what do you think? Do you think it is only available to few people?
I nowadays uh, that's true nowadays because it's maybe information is missing to society in general, because that's a subject, new subject, new area of study in the world, I think, because the problems that we face, uh, not don't sorry, the problems that we general face don't pass to this question, don't pass to this question. And nowadays, with the pandemic state, this is more talking, and the people now it's facing this problem to a real problem, and associate this with the physical problems too. And I think it's this. It's more a problem to now to this the state we face now. But in the future, I have a good a good a good a good thought that this team is more talking about this and we can we will access the truth of this team.
Okay, thank you. Mariana, what about you? Do you think mental health treatment is accessible?
Well, the terms of right, according to SUS, actually it should be the right of all. In terms of accessibility, we have primary health care, especially psychosocial care centers. They are located in territories that allow this accessibility to people that haven't cannot pay, you know. And however, people who have healthcare plans, for example, or have the possibility to private care have more power of choice, of course. So, for example, people with these conditions can choose between therapeutic approach, for example, or they usually choose for a location closer to their home or even for online services. So I think it is important we search for this information, of course. I agree with Igor. There is a missing of information on internet. We have Google, of course, but not all people have this accessibility to access to internet. So of course there is a problem of accessibility to mental health, but our SUS give us this possibility to achieve treatments.
Really good perspective. So I think we could move on to the next question. There's someone that just joined us. I'm not sure. I think that she left already. Sorry, guys. So the next question is the way our society functions with inequality, racism, and misogyny making people mentally ill? Bruno, what do you think?
I think that
Bruno, I'm sorry to stop you. It's just that it's freezing a little bit.
On our society nowadays, there are a lot of bad things.
Guys, are you listening to him or is it freezing?
But are you listening?
Just a moment, Mariana.
For me too.
Okay, Bruno, please, could you disable your camera just so maybe the connection will improve?
Okay.
Bruno? Okay.
What about now? Can you listen to me?
Now it seems it's a little bit better, so you can continue, please.
As I was saying, there's a as I was saying, there's a lot of negative in our society nowadays, you know. And there are small groups of people who spread more and more hate, targeting some groups of society, like black stuff about women. That's very inappropriate. It's a very negative thing. And it's a sad thing that those people, those small groups of people who spread hate in our society have so much influence over what people are going to think, you know. And I think we have to fight against those people who want to destroy people's mental health, you know. And we need to spread positivity to face them, you know.
Okay, very nice. So Igor, what do you think?
I missed the question. It's for, yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I understand the question.
Okay, I'm going to put it in other words. So
Yeah.
we live in a
Thank you.
country. Okay, so we live in a country that we know has
Yeah.
a lot of inequality,
Yeah.
racism, a lot of this very strong social problems. Do you think that these problems have an impact on the mental health of people?
Totally. I'm totally agree with this because link this to Monday when we show the video when we put the people in different lines, and and these people can walk to forward when the people can see yourself in a privilege or not. And I think the situation, it's totally linked with this because when you don't have a base of equality, we don't this problem, this mental problem, is more intense. I think in that way.
Mm-hmm. Mariana, what about you? What do you think?
Well, when it comes about disorders, how I said before, we have differences between normal range and normal functions of mental health. When you can deal with your problems with stress and those social problems, and of course, I think not everyone is 100% health in this moment, specifically in this pandemic situation. But for example, when we talk about disorders, we have scientific studies that indicate percentages related to causes. So sometimes we have to know what is the cause. In mental health, specifically in psychopathology, we don't know all the causes. So sometimes the cause is more related to environment. Sometimes the problem of these disorders is more related to genetic. So it depends of the situation, you know. Of course, the environment modulate or shape your personality in some aspect. But when we talk about causes, we have a lot of options. And the social factors and prevalence of specific disorders in some groups. So, for example, in a case of attention deficit disorder, there is a significant genetic influence, for example. In anxiety disorders, some cases are genetic, some cases are brain chemistry or environmental stress. So it depends of the situation. But of course, the environment influences our lives.
Mm-hmm. Very good. But just to add a little bit to this question, when you see like data that points out that like women and Black people, like they are more likely to have disorders. Do you think that that is a sign of like the social aspect of this of these disorders, or of this mental health issue? Do you agree with that? Or
Yeah, when we talk about environmental factors, we think about those things, you know, specific social factors like your age, your I forget how to talk about your sex, your biological sex, but and this perspective and how you deal with it in society. Of course, there is some prejudice that influence your mental health, if and mainly with your family. Your family is the first place that you know you see how you can deal with your mental health, and how you can deal with problems, and all starts of course with your family, and after with your friendships and with other things, you know. So depends of the situation. Sometimes is a social factor, sometimes it is a individual factor. um, and of course all of these problems and inequality and discrimination and things related to sex prejudice influences.
These things can trigger the real cause of the problem.
yeah,
I agree with
maybe,
this.
yeah, maybe you are susceptible, like you have a predisposition to that, and then the environment is so heavy that
Yeah.
it triggers it. Yeah.
In mental disorders, even the intestinal issues can trigger the mental disorders. It's the subject of the biochemistry study very recently.
Oh, very interesting. So the next question I'm going to ask to Bruno Romano. Are you with us, Bruno? Hello.
Hello.
I'm going to ask you the sixth question. Okay, question number 6.
6.
Should mental health assistance and information be available in public schools? What do you think?
Yes. Se assistência, desculpe falar português, mas se devem tratar do assunto em escolas públicas, acredito que sim, é um grande passo.
Okay. Clay, are you with us?
Yeah, I'm back.
What do you think?
Of course, it would be nice if you have it in like not only public school but in everywhere. But if you talk about kids and people, so most of them are facing some trouble, something that they should talk. And I think if you be taught how to talk about our problems, even if you were kids, I think it'd be nice. So you're gonna learn how to face your problem, also to talk about it. So if you be teach since you were a kid, I think it'd be nice. So if you have it, some assistant, some people to your talk, not only teachers but some specialized people. So if you remember, if you have seen like 13 Reasons Why, if you remember the TV show that the girl had to talk to someone, try to talk about some bullying or something. So I think we will avoid some problems like suicide or something like that. So I'm just bringing it because it'd be easier if you think about if you have someone to talk, some specialists would be nice, and probably you will be avoiding a biggest issue later. So it would be nice if you have it. Unfortunately, we don't.
Okay, so our next question is, in your perception, is there an interest of most authorities to talk about this issue and create strategies to address it in poor communities? So it's the question number 8, guys. Okay, number 8. So Bruno, do you wanna answer that to us, please?
Yes, yes. I think mental health is a very important topic. We need to talk about this not only in the year of election. We need to talk about this every single day. Because it's important. There are a lot of people suffering right now because of mental illness, because of depression. So it's important to know that there are not only people on society fighting against the lack of information about mental health, but we need to know that the government is fighting alongside us. The government is trying to implement some changes in our society about this topic. So it's important to have this information on school, especially on public schools, because if you learn about this in an early age, you will never going to forget. So if you have problems in your childhood, you know that you can seek out help that you need, So that's why it's important to talk about this in public schools, in my opinion.
Yes, yes. Igor, what do you think? Igor? Hello?
Sorry, I muted. It's a very hard question because the authorities nowadays is more concerned about the economy, and we think the economy is more important than health in general. And this specifically thing is very deixado de lado. I don't say. How can I say that?
They put it aside. They put it aside.
Yeah, I think in this way.
Yes. Bruno, what do you think? If you want to answer in Portuguese, is okay. Bruno Romano.
Thank you. Sobre o interesse das autoridades, né, sobre o assunto. Acredito, como o Igor falou, da mesma forma, é algo deixado de lado, né? Não é visto como prioridade, e assim como doenças cardiovasculares, como outros tipos de doenças, né, comuns que matam muito, a saúde mental, ela está em alta e é extremamente importante e necessário que ela seja tratada com a devida atenção pelas autoridades, porque é um problema de saúde pública. E eu lembro de um estudo da OMS que falava que em 2000, eu li muito tempo atrás, que em 2020 a depressão seria tão comum quanto doenças cardiovasculares, e realmente é o que tem acontecido. A sociedade está cada vez mais necessitada de atenção nesse tema, né, sobre saúde mental. Obrigado e desculpa pelo português.
No, that's okay. It's good because you're still listening and you are still understanding the question. Okay, so that's very good.
Obrigado.
So guys, this next question here is long, but I decided to write it because I thought it was an interesting thing for us to talk about. So the 9th question, okay, says, studies show that a lack of proper living conditions and other degrading circumstances can impact on people's mental health. Therefore, the problem of mental health requires actions in more than one field. Okay, so do you guys agree with this? Basically, when we are talking about mental health, we cannot talk only about mental assistance or treatment, but we also have to treat like the causes that might trigger these problems, like inequality and poverty, all that we were talking about. So what do you think, Bruno? What do you think?
Me?
Yes.
It's important to talk about this because sometimes for example, you are working under stressful conditions, and that can damage your mental health. Sometimes you don't have money to pay your bills, and you are so concerned about how you're going to pay things that for your family, So we have your responsibility, and as a result, you have stress, a lot of stress, because you don't know how to going to solve this. So there's a lot of things that influences in that aspect. There's a lot of things that make us feel stressed about life. So that's why it's important to mental health. It's important to have this more access to help, professional help, because everybody has stressful things in life. So it's important to have this,
Igor, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree with Bruno, because the condition of these people, it's very difficult, and these people in general, it's thinking in what I go to eat in this night, and this concern is more in that mind. It's more important than on depression, and this, it's one difficult thing to talk about in these families, and to own people, to own person, and it's a difficult to access this problem in a communities, in a poor communities.
Mm-hmm. And do you think that because people are worried about these other aspects of life, like what am I going to eat or whatever, it's harder for maybe even a professional like to notice that there's something else there, because there's so many other problems. You wouldn't you wouldn't have even time to think about my mental health. Like, I have to think what I'm going to eat tonight. Like,
it's very difficult to talk about this with one person that don't know if I will I will eat in this night or tomorrow.
Yes.
And it's very, very, very difficult.
Guys, so we are finishing our conversation. We are at the last minutes here. I want to thank everyone for joining us today. Do any of you want to add anything? Anyone?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you. And as I know, TNT, every questions over here is not easy to answer, so they are tough just to make us to think about how life goes, and it's the way how you proceed, how to you learn how to speak, and the way how you speak different. Because if you just talk about the same thing all the time, so you're not gonna learn anything new. So that's why these questions that we are facing every day, they are difficult. It's not easy question to answer because you should talk about different things, not the only thing that you are accustomed. So this is the magic of the TNT. So I really love it. Even it's not easy thing to talk about, but it's too good, it's too awesome because it makes us to think out of the box, something like this, and just talk about something different. That's why it's challenging. It's not easy because it makes us to speak more than we are accustomed. So it's very, very nice. Thank you. And that's it.
Yes, thank you, Clay, for saying that. Igor, you were going to say something?
Yeah, because I never do this the any conversation. Even I study in a core course. I don't like the conversation, but that if you don't practice the conversation,
Yes.
é para trás.
You don't evolve or you don't develop, right?
Yeah, you don't develop the knowledge and
your skills and your vocabulary.
Very nice initiative. Very nice.
Yes. And difficult topics. It's difficult for me to write these questions. Today we are having a week about poverty. And so the host must prepare the questions about this subject, and it's very challenging for me too, for everyone involved, but it's very rewarding. And it's just as Clay said, it's meant to make us talk about things that we are not comfortable with, like totally comfortable speaking about, that is challenging to us. And it's good experience, guys, and thank you for participating, for sharing your ideas. I think that's it. So follow us on Instagram, subscribe on YouTube, and thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. See you guys. Have a good one.